Humans at Work. And today I'm really excited to be joined by Ashley. And Ashley is the founder and president of Empowering Differences. And while seeking employment at a major financial institution, she overcame harassment, discrimination, and homelessness to empower her differences. Not just her status as a transgender woman, but also missing the chance to go to college growing up due to her transition. Gender, education, ability, and religion played key parts in her journey of empowerment. Starting her second career as a part-time teller, she rose to National Vice President of Diversity and Inclusion in less than 5 years, and she captured this four-step process of using empowerment to cultivate change in her book and online leadership course, Empowering Differences. So I'm really excited to have Ashley here. I met Ashley at an event virtually, and I got to hear her talk, and I'm really glad that now I can consider her a friend. So thank you so much, Ashley, for joining us at Better Humans at Work, and excited to have you today.
Oh my goodness, I'm so thrilled. Like, what could be better than Better Humans at Work, right?
I know, right? I love it. And tying that with empowering differences, it's like it's kismet. It's meant to be. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm glad to, again, like I said, when I met you, I remember you talking about your story and how empowering it was to hear that, and so want to be able to share that with others. So I know I did your quick bio, but tell us more about yourself and your background and how you came to found Empowering Differences.
So it's like the worst thing that happens to you in your life, always typically, if you pull something positive away from it, then it won't be the worst thing that ever happened to you. And losing my job in the restaurant industry really helped me to figure out that I needed to find what was going on that was really bad in my world. And so that meant that I was losing my house, and I lost my job. And then, and I said, okay, I'm going to just start trying to figure out how to get into this world. And I needed to be a better human at work myself. And so that's why I decided to do this empowerment self-assessment questions. And then that is what ultimately then started opening the door to doing research on empowerment and how it impacted leadership, but also how it impacts all of our human common differences that we hold. And that's what kind of led me down that path of saying, wait a minute, oh my goodness, this is impacting not just me, other people also are impacted by this. And so, that's what then led to trying to fight to find a job. And I had literally had doors slammed in my face. I got the cops called on me from a job interview. And then it's like, it's not the worst thing that happens to you if you pull something away. And I kept trying to pull positive things away from everything that happened to me. And so then that's what led to finding employment in the banking industry, and then growing in my career was also combating pigeonholing. I don't know if that's ever happened in some spaces for our listeners. But yeah, that happened too. And it's, we'd love you to go to the LGBT event or this event. And I'm like, no, I want to keynote the auto dealer finance summit. And they're like, I don't know about that. So that's part of this process. And so all those things are happening to you every day. Things are happening to you that you don't have a lot of control, sometimes no control over, but yet you could still track the empowerment that is there. And so that's kind of why I did this research, and why I'm so excited to be partnering with you and Mattingly Solutions Victoria, right? And it's like so amazing to be good. We're great friends with you guys, so, and all of you.
Yeah. And I think one of the things I love about how you speak about empowerment, and it ties so closely to how we talk about allyship a lot, is that it does cover those both sides. It's not just how you're empowering yourself and what you can do for you, but what are you doing for others, and your partners in the situation, and how are you empowering others? And so I think that's a really important outlook that you take.
Yeah. I mean, it's so right, it goes back to DEI is not just for one community or one difference. It's for all of them. And everybody has a race, everyone has a religion or lack thereof, right? Everyone has educational background, socioeconomic class status. And so it's just interesting being on this journey, and then knowing that yes, it impacts everyone, It's
Hmm.
so much fun, and it's like that. At some point, someone will have that aha moment, and that's like my favorite time of
Those
the
are
whole
the
day is
best
when they've reached
times.
that.
I know. Those are the best times. And I love the client work I do. So we're more, B2B. And so we do a lot of big picture and strategy. But I love a chance to get in a room and talk more like to individuals and to spread this message because, like you said, the people just need to hear it, right? They need that to sink in and then realize the things they can do. And so, speaking of speaking, you are always on the move. You do you are I'm to talk to little old me for work because I mean you're even traveling right now. Tell everyone where you are right now and what you're up to today.
So I just arrived in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and this week is the SHRM Puerto Rico annual convention at the Fairmont Hotel, and I'm one of the keynote speakers for said conference, and I'll be sharing my Force for Empowerment steps for a stronger community. Look, I have my hotel wristband. um, and I'm coming to you from like the banquet space where there's a semi-quiet area to do the
Yeah.
stream. But yeah, I'm super thrilled. It's my second time speaking in Puerto Rico. I was here actually in February of 2020. We had a whole little bit of a different world at that time when I came and spoke at the Women Who Lead Summit, which was an amazing event for women business professionals and allies. Uh, so yeah, it's kind of like full circle from pre-pandemic to now, which is just awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of speaking engagements, one thing I'm really excited about is your event that you are organizing that's happening in November and is unlike anything I've ever been a part of or even heard of, really. So please tell everyone about it. And then I'm going to like squeal about it some more because I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, the Voyage of Empowerment. So like literally my meeting planner is like this little birdie on my shoulder, Holly Strout, and she was like, you have to do an empowerment event and share your research with the world. And I was like, okay, where should we do it? And so we started looking at the hospitality industry, and there's hotels, and then there's right floating hotels. And I was like, well, which one needs the most empowerment? Well, the cruise line literally totally shut down. People were still going to hotels during the pandemic. People were still flying,
Mhm.
but no one was on the cruise ship. They got decimated. And then just think about, out of all those industries in the travel tourism industry, which one employs the most marginalized people from the most marginalized countries and the marginalized communities? Who else would want to stay in a space that's literally the size of this part of our Restream studio here? And so they're literally the ones who are working in this environment. So they need empowerment. So industry needs empowerment. People need empowerment. The most marginalized people need empowerment. And then I'm thinking, okay, well, if I show up on this boat and I do the whole thing myself, is that going to be empowering? So then I was like, well, why don't I put it out to the world and see who wants to join me on this mission? And so you're coming, obviously, but there's so many other people. We have more than a dozen amazing world-class speakers who are going to be all talking about empowerment, sharing their message. And so now we're going to have them there. And then I was like, okay, well, wait a minute. Well, let's add a couple more things. Let's also give back empowered resources to a school in Cozumel, Mexico. And then let's also have a scholarship program where I'm paying for two people. So it's the last call to get your scholarships in, because August 31st, the scholarship portal is going to close, and we're going to announce that we're going to have the scholarship winners join us on a studio session where you can meet them. Um, so literally all of these things involve empowerment of people, right? Giving them the platform to be present, to share what they're doing, to experience something that maybe they've never had a chance to. And that is all about empowerment. So if you're going to be really big about empowerment, then you need to be there in whatever way that you're there, whether that be through attending or or doing the scholarship, you name it. We want you there.
Yes. No, I am so thrilled for this event. One, not gonna lie, I've never been on a cruise, so like that's fun. Check that box. But I think more importantly is it's so unique, right? That it's a leadership conference. You're going to be learning things. You're going to be hearing from over a dozen amazing speakers, and you're getting a lot of great knowledge. But you then also have this shared experience with people, right? You are going on this adventure of a cruise. So even outside, think of any leadership conference you go to, you want to meet with people, you go out to dinner, you have maybe they do, I know a lot of times there'll be like a fun run or yoga and things like that. This is all going to happen, right? So we have all that time, and it's even more special because you're going on these different we have our different ports we're going to and whatnot. So I can't stop thinking about how genius of an idea it is. It's all encompassing in what you pay for. So you really just have to, get your flight to get there, but otherwise it's an all
Or
inclusive
drive.
Yeah, or drive if you're close enough, right? Yep. And then you just show up, you have fun, and you have your empowerment and leadership expertise that you're going to receive. So it's a really robust plan, and kudos to you for planning something that's so impactful to the attendees.
Yeah, I'll just say that there are 8 cabins left today. There are literally 8 cabins done, yes, and I'm like, there are 8 days left in the month. So I'm like literally thinking that we're gonna have a sellout for the in-person conference at the end of this month. So if you are on the fence and you've been thinking about doing it, and there's something that's holding you back, please let me know. Please send me an email. Whatever it is, contact me, DM me on social media. I check them all, and I'll send you the conference flyer that you can send your boss, or the conference flyer that you could send the leadership development person in your organization, because they have a budget for this stuff.
Yeah.
It literally exists. The leadership development budget, sometimes by my research, is sometimes 4 times the amount of the D&I budget.
Yep.
So don't go to D&I and ask them to pay for it, because they're probably not going to pay for it.
But L&D.
The leadership, yeah, L&D or your manager, right, outside of that, is always wanting to invest in you, and this is a perfect opportunity to do that. So I'll send you the flyer that talks less about the cruise and more about the leadership conference.
And I think that's a good call out, because I know, so we talked about how initially where you were focusing on the cruise line industry, hotel industry, and so on, but this is an event open to anyone, right? Anyone who's wanting to learn more, just like any leadership conference, and you're going to learn about a focus on empowering others, right? So anyone is welcome to attend.
Yeah, and obviously, like, empowerment is for anyone in this world. Everyone wants empowerment, and then differences also apply to everyone as well. So when you take those 2 pieces together and you put them together, now you have the Voyage of Empowerment happening.
Yes, love it. So actually, and one more thing before I ask a different question to get ready to wrap us up, to just give people a little teaser of what empowerment means to you. I know you mentioned that it's broken down into 4 different sections. I know you also you can break it down into 10 in another way. I won't give away everything, but you give us a little taste of how you talk about empowerment and what they can expect.
Yeah, well, I really want everyone to connect with the app of empowerment. And no, you don't need your phone. You don't need to download any applications. You don't even need internet access for this one, okay? But the app of empowerment is moving in every single conversation, every single day. And it's a framework of your own mind in relation to authority, which is all of the things that connect to your humanistic feeling of what you're doing. And your authority is your existence in this world. It's your boss-like mentality. And then it's power. And a power is all the measurable numbers that come from inclusion analytics, right? And why the work is so important. It's the measurement of all the things. It's how much money someone's paid. It's how much time someone devotes to something. It's how many people are involved in a project or a business or an organization, a P&L statement. And then it's people. And so that's the app of empowerment. It's authority, power, and people. And those 3 things are moving in every single moment interaction with people. The app of empowerment always is happening. It's just a matter of whether or not you take the time to build in the measures. And obviously, contacting Modeling Solutions would be a good way to do that, right? To build in the measures for why you're tracking this information and why it matters. Because that's exactly one of the things we're going to talk about and dive way deep into during this empowerment conference.
Yeah. Data and measurement, those are like, you're speaking my love language. So all for it. So remember that authority, power, and people. Amazing, amazing. So before we get ready to wrap up today, though, I do have one more question to go in theme with our Better Humans at Work. And that's just, what do you think organizations need to do to improve the human experience at work? What could make us better humans at work?
I think that having the ability to know the app of empowerment would be really, really helpful. And it's just something as simple as kind of reframing it. Like, we all know that the human survey that you're doing is pulsing how you feel about your manager. But when you actually know that that is literally being done to measure authority, right? And then to literally know about the power piece is always about the actual numbers, right? Your paycheck, and who's involved. So if everyone in the organization has a better understanding of what the app of empowerment is and how it actually connects to all the interactions that you do with people, you will be a better human at work.
Yes. Love that. Thank you so much, Ashley. And quick shout out to Michelle Whitman, Jen Olmstead. Who else we have? Daniel Washington popped in, Chris Hudson. Lots of people in chat today. Amanda Jacobs. Man, it's been a good, fun time. So thank you to everyone who joined us live and to anyone who's listening to a replay of this. Really appreciate you joining us today and learning about Ashley's story. And remember, you have until August 31st to sign up for scholarships to go on the Voyage of Empowerment. And we're also, eight rooms left, eight cabins. So get out there. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and if you're by yourself, you don't have to book double occupancy. You can book just one person.
Yes.
and then we'll magically pair you with someone else who wants more empowerment also.
Exactly. So if you have questions about the Voyage of Empowerment, or if you just want to learn more about Ashley, definitely feel free to reach out to her. She's super responsive. And we'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us, everyone.